The culture and character of today's Rwanda Defense Forces, RDF, was forged in those dramatic moments. It guides the conduct of our forces who serve abroad in peace-building missions, earning universal respect. Indeed, no sanctions or insult from outside can ever tarnish the honor and integrity of Rwanda's defense and security forces, who are among the finest that can be found anywhere. I look forward to raising this matter of sanctions at the highest level to understand the basis for such an injustice. Rwandans understand the cost of tolerating extremism, and our central security principle is to put the protection of civilians first. After the genocide, Rwandans chose to rebuild our country together. With that came a promise to never let the politics of genocide take root ever again. I tell you, genocide cannot happen here again. It won't happen. Even with those noises here in the region of people gathering from Europe, from wherever, and meeting in Kinshasa and bringing the son of Habyarimana and the relatives and others from wherever and gathering. All that is just noise. It cannot amount to anything that will happen here of that kind again. It cannot happen. And I'm saying this not just as a person. And I'm just saying it because I know everyone, and young and old, is as determined and is saying so, like I'm saying now to you. Along the way, Rwandans faced constant criticism and many attempts to twist our history. But the power we will always have is to use our minds to see the truth, and our voices to speak up when something is not right. You can never silence us in whatever form. We must be clear about the dangers that remain. When the genocidal government collapsed in July 1994, the soldiers and the militia fled across the border into the DRC, forcing millions of civilians along with them. Inside the camps, they organized into what is now known as FDLR and launched a sustained cross-border insurgency against Rwanda, claiming tens of thousands more lives. This was the period known as the Abacengezi insurgency, and the western border was only fully secured by the end of the 1990s through the combined efforts of our army and the brave residents of those areas. And since then, our defensive measures have been aimed at ensuring that such attacks can never again be made across our borders. This is not a problem that should be left to Rwanda alone. Doing so only rewards those behind the threat, while Rwanda is penalized for standing up for itself. Imagine a farmer whose field catches fire. At first, the flames are small. A few neighbors think it does not concern them. Others say the wind will change and the fire will die out on its own. So they watch and wait. But the wind does not change. Meanwhile, a pyromaniac is secretly adding fuel to the fire. So the fire spreads from one field to another, and then into the forest and the towns and beyond. Only then do people run with the buckets of water and call for the establishment of the fire department. Africans, more than most, should understand that the danger of moral passivity in the face of hatred and violent extremism. We should understand that danger, especially in the face of hatred and violent extremism. Africans, more than most, we must be reminded by all this history. Today, our continent accounts for the majority of the world's active conflicts. In 1994, Africa's collective institutions also failed to respond. I say this because the call for African sovereignty, legitimate and necessary as it is, must also mean that African institutions act decisively when Africans are at risk. Bad actors must not be allowed to hide behind the principle of sovereignty. to evade responsibility for abuses or deny citizens their rights. We cannot afford to repeat the mistakes of the past. Genocide ideology is still spreading in our region. Left unchecked, it has the power to take us all backwards again. There are those who claim that Rwanda exaggerates, these concerns, or that we have ulterior motives. This is not only false, it exposes the deep cynicism that led to the tragedy we commemorate today. What sustains Rwanda today is the unity of Rwandans and the convictions that, like all people, we have the right to live in safety and dignity and at peace to join with us to fight extremism rather than punishing Rwanda for defending itself. We owe future generations of Rwandans more than survival. They deserve to inherit a secure, united, and bold country and an integrated and confident Africa. We invite you to stand with us in remembrance and also in action. I thank you for your patience and kind attention. Murakoze cyane.